Good morning. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. We are going to start in just a minute. We're going to start on our backs today. So just make sure you have everything you might need. Water, maybe something to help with stretching like a tea towel or yoga strap. And blanket or towel. And just go ahead and you can use a blanket or towel to lay on if you like, or just on your mat, fine. And just take your time getting down and just make sure everything is working here. Okay. Something. Okay. Okay, that should be good. So yeah, get on your back. Just relax, take a few breaths. Of course, always just chat me. I've got my chat box open if you're having a problem hearing me or seeing or anything like that. And from here, I'm just gonna take a couple big breaths. Feel that belly, release. Feel the belly, then feel that chest. And release the chest, release the belly, pull that navel in. We're just gonna watch that wave of breath just travel from our navel up to the top of our head, really filling up that rib cage, filling up the lungs, all the way to the top of the head. And exhale, top of the head, lungs, belly. Inhale, so challenging that area, filling it up, fill up the lungs at full capacity. And exhalation, just release down, let go of everything. Inhale. Exhale, release. Just feel yourself really present, calm, in the moment. Just continue to follow that breath. Inhaling, pushing that navel up towards the ceiling, filling up the lungs. And then exhale. A few more rounds. Maybe trying to find stillness. Trying to just release into that mat. If any part of your body needs extra attention, just take your mind's eye to that area. Inhale into that area, into the shoulders, the head, joints, arms. Breathe into the area. Just get that extra attention and love. And exhale, release. Just a few more rounds of that Ujjayi breathing. Want your eyes gently closed. Soften through the face. And I'm going to pull those knees, bend the knees, bend the knees, bring them up towards the chest, pull them into the chest. Inhale, exhale, bring that nose up to those knees. Make a little ball and release. Send those legs long, send those arms long. Make a long stretch of your body. And from here, we're going to bring that right ankle to the right side of the mat. Bring that left ankle over that ankle. And shimmy those shoulders over. Just make a nice long crescent pose or banana shape for their body. You can grab this left wrist and pull. Nice length from that left ankle to that left wrist. Filling space, making opening for that whole side. Breathing into that belly. Just a few more breaths here. And release. And shimmy those shoulders back. Bring those legs back to center. And let's go straight to the other side. Maybe you can grab that right wrist if you like, or even a deeper kind of side stretch. Opening through the ribs, through the shoulders, hips. Connecting to the breath, staying connected. Soften through the face. Make sure you're not holding any tension there. And release. Remove those shoulders back to center. Legs come back to center. Bend those knees. I'm just going to kind of rock them gently from side to side. As fast or slow as you like. Should feel like that sort of loosening of the lower back. Have those feet about hip width apart. Just a few more times here. Just feeling that loosening in the lower back, softening. And the next time we're down, our knees are down to the right, just let them fall there. You can bring those arms out above, T, cactus. Just release into that twist. Breathe into the belly. Maybe finding stillness just for a moment. And gently bring those knees up. Let's let them fall to the other side. Some nice gentle stretch, the spine, low back. Should feel good. Don't do anything that pinches, that hurts. Soften your gaze up towards the ceiling. Let your tongue be loose in your mouth. And bring those knees back up, pointing towards the ceiling. We're gonna move that left ankle just a little bit closer to our hips, pressing down through all four corners of that left foot. And we're gonna bring that right knee up into our chest. Soften through that right hip crease, pull that knee down and up. Left knee is pointing up to the ceiling. Connecting with that left foot to the mat. That lower rib cage is heavy. Our lower back is connected, softening into the mat. And we're gonna lengthen that leg. Open that sole of the foot, bottom of the foot to the ceiling. You can be bent. You can grab the back of that hamstring or take your yoga strap or tea towel or whatever you're using and just wrap that around the back of the leg. I'm gonna lengthen. You can still, it doesn't have to be completely straight. So I'm gonna feel that nice length to the back of the leg. Pull this towards, just kind of toes just gently towards your face. And gently release. We're gonna pull that knee in and then grab the outside of that foot. Sorry, you can also grab the outside of the, you don't have to, pant leg or just your leg. We're gonna come to like a happy baby. So you're just gonna bring that right knee towards that right armpit, keeping this foot still connected, this left knee pointed up towards the ceiling. And it looks a little funny maybe. We're softening through that hip flexor, want that length here. And release, release and then bring that ankle to that left knee. Press that right knee away from the body. We're still keeping that lower back connected to the mat, so you might have to tuck your tailbone just a little bit. The lower rib cage feels heavy. Keeping that right foot flexed. So that foundation, we've got our lower back, we've got our left foot all connected to the mat. You can stay here. If you want a deeper stretch, it's fine. You can grab the back of that left hamstring. That is an option. Or just hang out down here. So whatever you feel like this morning, just listen to your body. Big, deep breaths into the belly. And gently release. We're gonna pull that knee in again, lengthen that left leg, and then we're just gonna pull that knee across the body. It doesn't have to come very far. You just come here, maybe a little further. Engaging that left leg. Put your right arm kind of out for leverage. It should feel good in your hip. And release, come back up. We're gonna release that right foot down and then just let that fall out to the side. Take that half Baddha-Konasana. You can reach up, take a tree on the floor. You can even put your hands together. Our hands can be apart. We're just releasing that right knee. Let that fall out towards the mat. Reconnect with the breath. And release. Bring that knee back up. Left foot meets the right foot. Feet are hip width apart. We're just going to sneak a bridge in here before we do the other side. So we're going to press down through the arms. Press through all four corners of those feet. Really maintain that contact with the mat. Then we're going to inhale, push up those hips to the ceiling. We're engaging those glutes and those hamstrings. Maybe just scooch the shoulders a little bit closer together if that's available to you. Otherwise, just pressing all the way through the arms to the palms, all four corners of the feet. Strengthening the backs, the legs of the legs, arms. And release. And pull those knees in. Just rock a little. Should feel good on your lower back. You always take circles with the knees if that feels good too. Whatever sort of gives you best sort of massaging feeling in that low back. As fast or slow. If you find a spot you want to kind of roll over, stay there. I'm just going to rock back and forth over a little spot where it feels good. Maybe needs extra tension. I'm going to pull those knees up and then grab each knee, let those knees fall apart. We're softening through the hip flexors, and then we're just going to pull them up, release them down. Those knees fall apart. Just kind of taking their own circular paths just a few times. Just one more time. And release. And from here, we're going to take that attention to that right foot. Maybe pull that heel just a little closer to the hips. Pull that left knee in. Mid breath. Nice, deep, even breaths. We're softening through that left hip crease. Maintaining that contact to the lower back, to the mat. And then release, go lengthen that leg. You can grab around the back or use something. Keep that knee bent. Maybe straighten it a little bit on that opening through the back of the leg, softening through that hamstring. Keeping that right knee pointed towards the ceiling. Don't let it wander off to the side. And release, bend that knee. Reach for that outside of the foot or just outside of the leg. Or work that knee towards the left armpit. Taking that happy baby. Just want to feel that lengthening of the hamstring. And release. We're going to straighten that right leg. I'm just going to take that knee across the body. It's coming to where you feel that nice stretch. It can be here, kind of anchor your right elbow to hold your knee, or if you're really flexible, maybe you're coming all the way over. You can extend that left arm out to the side. Try to keep both those shoulders on the mat. Engaging that tummy, engaging that right leg. And inhale back up. Bend that right knee, and bring that left ankle to that right knee. Press that left knee away from the body. Flex that left foot. tuck the tailbone, make sure you're connected to, low back's connected to the mat. And you can stay here or grab the back of that right hamstring. Deciding what feels best. Just a few more breaths here. And releasing that left foot down. We'll let that left knee fall out to the side. Just stay here. Lengthen that right leg. Take that half Baddha Konasana or tree pose on the floor. Let that knee just fall out. Nice, even, deep breaths into the belly. And release, bring that left leg up, bring that right knee up. I'm gonna just window wash them one more time. Notice if you feel any difference in your back, that low back. Is it a little softened? Is it feeling warmed up, stretched out? And now bring your feet flat. We're gonna sneak in one more bridge pose, just for a few breaths. Inhale up. Maintain contact with all four corners of the feet, the palms. This will be a short one, just a few, 2-3 breaths. And release those hips down, pull those knees in. Just gonna roll from side to side. Just one last time. And just cross those ankles, grab the backs of those hamstrings. We're gonna roll a couple times. And then come up to a seated position. From here, we're gonna inhale up, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, those shoulders fall away from the ears. Inhaling, lengthening that spine, bringing energy to the spine. And bring our hands forward. Come here, walk those hands even further. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Nose goes towards the floor. Just finding that spot where your hips are feeling stretched, but not too taxed. Maybe sway a little bit from side to side. Feel that opening in the just above the hip, the lower side. Maybe bring your elbows down. Let that head hang just for a breath. And lengthen those arms. We're going to walk them over to the right. Back to center. One breath here. And then over to the other side. Reach you through those right fingertips. Back to center. Or walk those hands back up. Now from here, we're just going to switch those legs. Bring those hands forward and just want to just come down on the other side. Just notice any difference. And then in the sensations of your hips. Walk those hands to the right. And back to center. Over to the left. Back to center. Maybe walk your hands out a little further. Breathe into those hips. And soften on the exhalation. Slowly walk those hands back up. Bring our hands to our knees. Inhale. Lengthen. And then we're exhale, bring that right ear down to that right shoulder. You can bring those hands out to the sides if you like. Maybe by your hips or even reaching out. Just gonna gently stretch the neck. You can always bring this hand out and kind of guide that ear. Just being really gentle, not pulling. Inhale up. And exhale, bring that chin down to that chest. Still lengthening through that spine. Let those sit bones ground down into the mat and rise up from that. Inhale up. Exhale, take that left ear down to that left shoulder. Gentle openings in the right side of the neck. No pinching, no pain. And you use this hand if you like. Just being extra careful. Inhale up. Exhale, I'm going to inhale and just gently look up towards the ceiling if that feels okay on the back of your neck. I'm feeling that stretching to the front of the neck, throat. Inhale up. Exhale, chin comes back down to the chest, and then we're just kind of roll if this feels okay from side to side. Really slowly, really gently. Just kind of releasing any tension in the neck. Inhale up. Exhale, we're gonna come over, reach over, coming down. Maybe to your elbow if you're feeling really flexible. Just keeping both those hips up on the mat. Just creating length through that left side of the body. Imagine those ribs separating. Inhale up. And then exhale, come to the other side. Really reaching, maintaining that contact. Your sit bones are really grounding down. You have that foundation there, reaching up and over. And inhale up, and exhale, other side. Reach, and then we're going to spiral outward, opening up that heart to the ceiling. And release. We're going to come into a twist. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, taking that gaze towards the back of the room. Inhale, we lengthen up to the crown of the head. Exhale, just twisting gently, not wrenching your bodies, being gentle. Engaging your core. Feeling that string pull up to the crown of the head on the inhalation. And gently release, slowly unwind. Come down to that left side. We're going to reach over. We're going to spiral out. That right thumb comes back. Open up that heart. Breathe into the belly. And then release. Bring that hand down to the knee. Left hand comes behind you. We're going to inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, take that gaze towards the back of the room. Inhalation, lengthening. Create space in between the vertebrae, and the exhalation, just twisting just a tiny bit deeper. Just one last breath, seeing how far back you can take your gaze. And gently release. Remember to bring the soles of our feet together. Get those knees down. You can even give your feet a massage here with your thumbs, the arches. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale. Pull that heart forward. Nose comes down towards the floor in front of you. Softening through those hip flexors. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Return to the breath. And gently release. We're going to straighten that right leg, bring that left heel into center. Inhale, lengthen. We're also going to turn our body, slide our hands down, our nose towards the foot, pull those toes back towards the face. Pressing down to the back of our right knee, sucking up that kneecap. We're active in the legs. Pull that navel in towards the spine. See if you can take that nose just a little closer to the shin. And gently come up. We'll just switch legs to turn towards that leg. Flex that left foot and just slide our hands down. Pull that heart towards the foot. Engaging, pressing through the heel. Pressing that right knee down towards the mat. Sucking up that left kneecap. Active through that left leg. Once again, just checking your face. If you're holding any tension in your face, let your tongue be loosened, your mouth softer than jaw. And release. Gently come up. I'm going to move into a tabletop position from here. So making sure those knees are underneath those hips, shoulders over those wrists. Spread out those fingers. Press down through the tops of the feet. And inhale, push that belly down. Come to a cow pose. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, then tuck the chin. And inhale from that cat back into the cow. Open the heart. Exhale, pull the mat back, middle of the back up towards the ceiling, round the shoulders, press through the palms. And at the pace of your own breath, you're just going to do a couple more rounds of that cat and cow, just moving that spine, warming that up. Moving, you can move from side to side, move your spine any way that feels good here. Back to neutral position, we're just gonna push our hips out to the sides. Gonna release any tension you may be holding in your hips. Back to neutral position. Inhale, then we'll exhale, send our left leg out behind. Point those toes down, level off those hips. I'm gonna add that left arm if you like. Lifting to that right hamstring. Engaging that core. release down. And from here, we're just gonna take a couple circles, just stretch out the wrists in between sides. And push those hips out again. It should feel good on your wrists and your hips. And back to a neutral position. We'll inhale. Strengthen that core, and then exhale, bring that left leg out, lift up through that left hamstring. You can stay here, or you're free to add that right arm. Just really lifting up through that core. And release down, bring those knees wide. I'm just gonna come into extended child's pose just for a few breaths, just let everything go. And gently come back up, we'll come right into puppy. Just gonna reach forward, press his palms into the mat. Should be a nice stretch in the shoulders. And gently come up, we're just gonna slide that right arm underneath that left arm. Bring that right shoulder down to the mat. The shoulder just melt down, release. Breathe into the belly. And gently bend that left arm. We're gonna reach forward that right arm and just slide, thread the needle, bring that left shoulder down to the mat. Let that left shoulder just melt down, release. Breathe into your belly. Whenever your breath just wanders away, just return. And release. And from here, we're going to tuck those toes, spread out those fingers, and send those hips back, downward facing dog. Walk the dog. And then spreading out those fingers. Heels can be off the mat or on the mat. Which with that softening through the backs of the legs. Maybe take a little micro bend in those knees. Ears are by those biceps. And I'm just gonna walk those feet up to the hands. Grab opposite elbows, come to a forward fold, ragdoll. And sway back and forth. Shake your head no, nod your head yes, loosen that neck. And drop those hands, come to a forward fold, just letting that blood flow to the heart. Then pressing to all four corners of your feet, just taking your awareness to the bottom of your feet and that connection with the mat. And from here, we're just going to step our left foot back and come into a lunge. And then from here, you can bring that knee down. And inhale up. You stay here or just drop your hips forward. You can even drop those hands if you want an extra shoulder stretch and interlock those fingers behind your back. Pull those shoulders down. And we're releasing. Straighten that front leg. Go to that half split. Nice long spine. We're pulling that heart towards the foot, flexing that right foot back towards the heart. And release. We're gonna tuck those back toes. Straighten both those legs. Come just for a breath into a pyramid pose. Then we're gonna step that left foot up to the right foot. The right foot comes back. We'll come into that lunge on the other side. Strong through the legs, to the core, and then slowly lower that knee. We're gonna rise up from here. Stay here. You can even come here or here. And opening that chest, so skin across the chest, just stretching, opening, strong through your attachment to the mat, your connection to the foot, the knee. Pull that navel towards that spine. Now we're going to release down and pull those hips back. Lengthen and then flex that left foot, pull the heart towards the foot. Pull that navel towards that spine, see if that nose comes closer to the shin. And release. We're going to tuck those back toes. Take that pyramid pose on the other side. Just for a breath. And from here, you're going to plant those hands. Bring that left foot to meet that right foot. Just however you need to get into downward facing dog is fine. Take your time getting there. Just a few more breaths here. And release down. And then we'll come down on our right hip. And we're going to find our sit bones and balance there for boat pose. So go ahead, find your spot that you're balancing at. And find your spot where you're comfortable here, where it doesn't hurt your low back. Really careful with your low back. So maybe here, maybe here. You're building that core strength. That breath carry you through the pose. Nice broad chest. I did a bunch of, I worked out before this, so I'm a little shaky in this area, but I really worked it hard. And release down. If you want to put something down, we're going to roll down to our back. So go ahead, just take your time. Bend those knees, and we're just going to roll slowly. Slowly disengage all those muscles in the core. Core strength is so important. Just inch by inch. And release when you get down. We're gonna hug those knees into the chest. Roll, rock. Soften. Grab the outsides of those feet and come into happy baby. Let that low back just release down towards the floor. And also rock here. Soften for the face. And hug those knees in one more time. And release them along. Come into your position for Shavasana. You can just bring those feet together if that feels good, if that feels better on your back. And even like take some cushions and put them under here, or like, big pillows so your legs can release onto them. That feels really good. Or just take your legs long. Let those feet just flop out to the sides. Open up those palms to the ceiling. Big breath. Release, let go. Just close the eyes, let everything go. Another big breath. Release and sink down into the mat. Start to soften. Follow that breath. Breathing in calmness. Releasing on the exhalation. Starting to let every muscle just soften, let go. Let the eye muscles around your eyes soften, release. Let your tongue be loose in your mouth. Let your cheeks release, let your jaw soften. Softening the entire face, the ears, the scalp. Down the neck. Down to the shoulders. Let those shoulders melt down into the mat. Let those arms start to melt and soften and widen. Biceps, triceps, forearms, hands feel heavy. Muscles in your back start to melt down into the mat, all the way down to your hips. Those hamstrings widen, soften. Soften through the calf muscles, all the way to the toes. Those quads feel heavy. Soften through the backs of the knees. Every muscle just melts and releases down into the pose. Just continue to follow that breath. Breathe in relaxation. On the exhalations, release, relax, let go. And slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Rock your head from side to side. Bend your knees. Big breath. And just roll over onto the right side of your body. One breath here. And then slowly press yourself up to seated position. And bring your hands to heart center. Namaste. Thanks everybody for joining this morning. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday morning.